Hello, welcome slashers, Nightgripped here, and welcome back to my channel. Now for today's video, I will be talking about the WonderCon leaks, because there have been some leaks, and so with that said, let's just get into the video. And before I get into this video, I want to just quickly say that I'm uploading this because I was very iffy about posting any more leaks, but I'm posting this only because other people are posting it too. Evan the Favors posted it, Josh is posting it, 3C will probably end up posting it too, Jimmy Champagne. Just if MGM decides to take this video down, then pretty much just, I don't know what to say because everyone else posted it, so I'm just doing the same as them. And I feel like I should not get punished for posting something that other people are posting. But anyway, let's get into the video. Now I'm gonna kind of work my way up to the most exciting stuff, so just bear with me. I want to show a couple pictures, then we'll go from there. First, I want to show this little poster that I found on Instagram that a couple people posted a bunch of, and it's just pretty much a shadow of Buddy, and he's holding a knife. Looks dope. I really love it. But let's move on to the next picture. This next one is like a Child's Play elevator. This looks dope. This is really cool, but if you look closely, just look closely. At the bottom there, you see Chucky just peering out, ready to fucking strike. Now, this is fucking dope. I don't think this was at WonderCon. It was some other event. I forgot, like CinemaCon, something like that. It's called something like that, though. And this next thing, guys, this next thing will just... You guys just aren't ready. So pretty much there's an audio, and I think it's for like a trailer, but there's been no all we got is like some audio. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down everything for you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna have you listen to a little bit, then I'll come in and break it down for you.
Mom, I think Chucky did something to her.
Sweetie, Chucky is a toy, okay? It broke.
No, Mom, I saw him. I saw him following Marie.
So I guess Andy here is suspicious of Chucky doing something to someone. I think it's like that girl that's in his friend group, but he's very fearful for whatever happened to her. And of course, just like the original, Karen is not believing in him, that kind of thing. But, it gets even better. Let's continue.
No, you didn't. Listen to what you're saying.
Mom, he's gonna kill her. He probably already did. Why are you listening to me? I have it on Omar's phone. He's following Doreen. I can show you.
Now right here, Andy is very suspicious of Chucky and believes that he killed her, whoever he's talking about. Like I said, I think it's the girl in his friend group. But then he says that he has Omar's phone. Why? Well, we're about to find out.
Why do you have Omar's phone?
I took it.
Why?
I had to. I had to follow Chucky, Mom.
Okay.
I'm not crazy, Mom.
Stay right here, okay?
Mom!
Do not move.
He's trying to kill us!
So apparently he used Omar's phone to keep track of Chucky, I guess, figure out where he's at, follow him, that kind of thing. And yeah, still, Karen said that for him to stay, and yeah, he pretty much said, but Chucky's gonna kill us. So from here, we got one last bit that will shock you guys. I think a lot of it's just like music, but the ending is what really pays it off. I'm gonna let you guys give a listen. That is right, guys. Our first look at Mark Hamill as Chucky. I gotta say, that is very impressive. Now, I know I've had some mixed opinions about how I feel about this remake. I've went from just completely hating it to actually kind of liking it, and then back to hating it after what MGM did to me. Gave me a strike on my channel. And then I'm back to actually pretty hyped for it after the Mark Hamill news. So it's kind of been a roller coaster of emotions in terms of this film. Because I wanted to do good, but at the same time, I'm still very worrisome about the film. But I think with Mark Hamill on board, I think it's looking up for the film. So the last thing I have to show you guys is the panel from this event. Now, I decided to edit it down a bit so that it's not too long, and I took all the stuff that doesn't really mean anything. I took all that out to focus on the stuff that's important. So I will not be showing the whole panel here for you guys because, you know, it's not the whole thing. It's just like the recording is 35 minutes, but though I believe the panel in general at the event was longer, but for some reason the person that recorded this only recorded for like 35 seconds, something like that. But pretty much I'm gonna sit here and kind of react to it, even though I already watched through it and picked out the most important parts. I will just sit here and watch it with you guys. So yeah, and then I'll pause whenever I need to say something. So yeah, let's watch this.
We got a call from Orion, and you know, this was right after, I think it was right after It came out, and yeah, I agree. They should make a sequel to it.
Hell yeah.
And they said, look, we're thinking of sort of reinventing Child's Play, and my first question was, well, what does that mean? Because, you know, in our age of reboots and remakes, as we all know, it's, you know, sometimes they turn out great and sometimes not so great. And so our first question was, well, why does the movie exist? You know, why would this movie need to exist in 2019 other than just being because we own the property or the IP or whatever?
Yeah, good point, good point.
I think that we sat around and had a conversation. We brought Tyler in, who we worked with before, and I think we came up with a really compelling answer to that question, which is kind of the whole genesis of this new iteration of Chucky and this new take on this classic character and this classic story.
What did you think when it was suggested that you write this?
I was terrified.
Yeah, I'd be terrified too.
Initially, I think just because, there's a lot of weight to take on the story so beloved as Child's Play, and it's a delicate balance, writing a new version of that, because there's so many elements of the original that you want to pay tribute to, but you still want to be able, nobody wants to see a direct remake that is a shot-for-shot version of the original.
Yeah, exactly.
So, just coming up with what that angle was, what was going to give us something fresh to work with, was really important. And I think the first meeting, when I talked to these guys, when we started talking together about what the movie would be, I felt a lot of calm, realizing, I think they are really shooting for the right things in this, coming at it for the right reasons, and as soon as we kind of came up with the angle of what would make this modern and relevant, and kind of basing a lot of this story in something that felt fresh, but still felt very based in the world of Child's Play, and the tone of Child's Play. I was really excited.
Tyler started writing immediately and wrote a really great script and super smart.
Yeah, you're gonna hear this a lot.
Emotional and he.
You're gonna hear this a lot. The script was amazing, that kind of thing. They praised the script a lot, so it kind of makes me wonder how good it really is. So it kind of gets me more interested in how the movie is actually gonna be, because they praised the script a lot throughout this whole entire thing, and I think they even cut out a couple parts where they praise it, but yeah, throughout this whole entire panel, it seems like it just gets praised to all living hell. So I am even more curious on how the script is and what happens in the movie now. But let's continue.
He nailed it in a way so quickly that it allowed us to get a great cast interested, and it allowed us to get a director interested, and so Tyler, you're the only one wearing a hat up here, but my hat's off to you, sir.
I don't have a hat either. It's okay.
To say that, so I'm glad that he owned it up.
And Aubrey, what attracted you to this project?
Well, the script, I think I was very surprised
There we go.
by it
Again,
because,
I told you guys.
Like Seth said earlier, I'm skeptical of reboots and remakes, and I don't,
Yeah,
think,
pretty much.
Things necessarily need to be remade.
Yeah,
but,
pretty much.
I was very surprised by the reimagining of what Chucky could be, and in the world of today. And I actually I just liked the message of it.
Yeah.
I like this version of Chucky where kind of technology becomes the villain. That's something that I can get behind.
We've seen that before, but it just depends on the execution.
It's just a very
I mean, like, it depends on how they do this one. Like, if their story that they're trying to tell is different compared to other films that focus on technology being the villain, it just depends all in the execution on how they portray technology in their films. So I want to see their portrayal of it, how they do it. So, I think that's going to be very exciting to see.
different part for me. I've never played a mom, so it's my first mom role, so yay me.
Okay, first mom role, cool.
On a personal note, my mother in real life was very young when she had me. In fact, I think my mom and I are the same age difference that Gabriel and I are, or no, that Andy and Karen were in the script. So I really related to that dynamic of kind of having a super young mom, and there was just a lot of stuff that kind of made sense to me, and I just thought, well,
there's a realism in it, and I like that. It adds more to the film, so I think that's a good call. Good call.
well, that will be an interesting journey to go on.
I think what really drew me to the role in the script was Andy's depth and emotional range. Like, there's so many different aspects to Andy and Karen and just the script in general, and that's what really drew me.
And how is this? I mean, obviously we don't want to spoil too much, but it's been said there's sort of a technological twist to the tale. I mean, how is this Chucky different from previous incarnations, would you say?
Well, I mean, look, we're all sitting here. I'm sure most people in this room and everybody on this panel is a fan of the '88 movie and the original series.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. Yes, give it up.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a seminal movie for me as a kid and a horror fan. And, that movie opens with a murderer named Charles Lee Ray. Taking his soul and putting it into a Cabbage Patchy type of good.
Oh yeah, that's the story. That's the story.
And that was incredible for that movie, and that was the first instance of us going, well, how could we do this differently than just doing that same thing over again? And it seemed like an opportunity for us and for Tyler to talk about some things that are going on in 2019 that weren't even on the radar in 1988, like the fact that your home is always watching you and everything in your home is connected, and what happens when you're...
I mean, I'm going to stop right there because that's a pretty scary point. Because, I mean, it's kind of true, though, because we all have, because, I'm on a computer right now doing this, got my phone, and... if someone wanted to, they could fucking hack into my shit probably and, stalk me, stalk me to, fucking webcam, that kind of thing. So, yeah, there's some, scary layers to that, so, I like that. I like that. How you word that.
Alexa decides to kill you.
Alexa tries to kill you, yeah.
And, you know, and I truly believe that, and that's the way that we approach thinking about, well, what would the company be that made this doll? And what would they be trying to do? And thinking about making a extremely capable, extremely smart, extremely connected child companion seems like something we're 5 years away tops from in the real world. And
Yeah.
there are a few shots of the doll in the movie, well, I won't spoil, that they're very close to kids and little kids, and just, it's creepy to think about, this is actually going to happen. Like, kids are going to have these toys that they're going to be left alone with, and what happens if all of the things that are supposed to go right go wrong? And that was really the genesis of thinking about a new iteration, really, of Chucky. I mean, this is not, you know, we're not remaking Charles Lee Ray's Chucky. We're birthing a new version of the character.
Which is good in some aspects, yeah. It's good different ways.
I had to jump on after signing off, and when I read the script, it was to find the look of the doll, and you know, it's a pretty daunting task, and it's for me personally, being the director on this movie. It basically came from the script, the story, like how they portrayed Chucky in it, his arc, and the development of that doll and how it looks and how he acts and behaves kind of came directly from that. It all made sense. It wasn't anything you kind of have to figure out or just do something new and crazy. It was all tied into the story.
The other thing too that Lars insisted on right away, like that we were excited about, is that he wanted to do as much animatronic, practical,
which is good,
doll as possible. We didn't want this to be a CGI crap tap.
Now, this is good. This is good because you see, something that we were worried about is that they were just gonna not do animatronics. They're gonna do all CGI. And well, this is confirmation that there will be very minimum CGI. I've heard that they're going to use some CGI, but not very much. It's mostly going to be animatronics, and that is a good thing, because that's how people do the Chucky movies. That's how it's always been done, and people love the animatronics. So this is a really amazing news. But let's continue.
Spectacular Chucky. First of all, we couldn't afford it. But second, some, you know, I mean, there's, you know, but you know, I think that affected the making of the movie a lot, in that everybody in the scene with Chucky was there with, you know, and we had performers.
That's
who were
another
very
point.
Talented, you know, robotic.
Yeah.
Animatronic puppeteers who were doing voices and everything. It made it really, I would assume for you, it was better having real Chucky there.
Yeah, I mean,
Except when he broke.
Oh, broke, huh?
just like a piece of tape. Yeah, there was that one time where he was like rubbing my thigh.
Chucky's a pedo.
You're trying to be careful what you say around kids, and then.
Yeah, that was Chucky. Does anyone want to talk about Brian's role?
Sure. Well, he plays the detective.
Yeah, Mike Norris.
On the detective from the first, from the original film, but his character is quite different from the original. He has an emotional connection with Andy in this film, and a connection with Karen as well. And without revealing too much, yeah, it's a different play on a similar kind of role to the first. He's kind of dealing with a lot of the mystery of what's happening, what Chucky's up to, but still has a very, he's very emotionally linked to the core of the film, to the core relationships, which I think is
That's
what
good.
really builds his character in an interesting way.
And Tyler, there's also more of a,
That's good. So pretty much, Detective Mike Norris gonna be more attached to Andy, that kind of thing. And I guess it seemed like he might even play like a much bigger role than even in the first film. He played a pretty big role in the first film, but it seemed like he might be a little more involved in this one in some aspects. like in terms of Andy, because there wasn't really any like that much interaction with like him and Andy in the original. So I think this is good. This is good.
In addition to Andy, there's kind of another posse of there's like a posse of other kids, right? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's
the other kids.
A little crew of kids that he hangs out with in this film. Definitely, that's a part of it. You know, there's a kind of fun element of the other kids that live in the building as well. But definitely, I think, you know, the core relationship in this film, for me at least, as a writer, was always the relationship between Andy and Chucky, and I think. That was something important. That I was really drawn to in the original film.
That's important.
Just this idea that these two characters are linked together in a really interesting way. There's this cat and mouse element in these kind of games of psychological terror that are played that are really unique to the original Child's Play film. And that was important for me, I think, to give that a lot of focus in this film, to make Andy a really nuanced character who has a relationship that isn't linked for the same reasons as the original Child's Play, but there is still a very specific link between these two characters, and kind of an evolution in their relationship as the movie goes on that hopefully is interesting too.
Yeah, and I also think by making him older than Andy in the '88 movie, I mean, he's 13 in this movie, and he's left alone a lot as a result of that, and he has to deal with a lot of this stuff by himself with these kids that live in, and so, you know, they're
just left on his own defense against Chucky.
Get really crazy, and I think that just for me, that created more tension around Andy's relationship with Chucky, because, you know, he's dealing with so much of this alone.
Alright, interesting.
Say, but like I said earlier, Chucky's kind of his first friend. So he has a really strong emotional attachment. But it wasn't actually that hard because they had someone reading for Chucky on set. So it was mostly just between him and me rather than me and me all. But yeah, Andy he has a very strong emotional attachment to Chucky. It's almost like Chucky's his child in a way. So you see that come to play, and it really puts a strain on Andy as he has to do certain things.
When we were thinking about what this doll would do and be marketed as and look like, we thought, well, what would be the company that would make one of these? And we look at our own world and we see, you know, well, who's going to make this doll? It's either going to be Google, Amazon, Apple, one of these gigantic companies is sooner or later going to make a companion, an AI, smart deep learning companion. And so we thought, you know, okay, so what would this company be about? And in this case, they make everything. They make, you know, everything from Roombas to thermostats to you name it, and they're all interconnected, and they're all, you know, led by this.
That website, that casual website, you can pretty much see some of the stuff that they make. Yep, a lot of variety there. Let's continue on.
Charismatic Tim Matheson chairman, who is named, can we say, Henry Kasland. Kasland is the company.
Chucky or Annabelle, do you think?
Chucky.
Good.
Not even close.
Good. I just want to put this in here. It isn't really that important, but yeah, Chucky vs. Annabelle. I'm glad that they think that Chucky is fucking better, because I think Chucky's better. And a lot of us fans think that he's better than Annabelle. I mean, come on, he's better, you gotta admit it. But let's continue on.
We killed Annabelle. Can you kill Annabelle? Chucky can, that's right.
Yes, he can.
God bless you, sir. You know what you're talking about.
Hell yeah, he can.
Well, Brie, what do you think?
I'm not, who's Annabelle? Is she
Okay.
Is she a character, or who plays her?
She does not know who Annabelle is. Oh.
Another part I didn't get.
Damn. In a sense, it's kind of a burn on Annabelle's part. Damn. Damn.
Has to be Chucky, come on.
And would you, if all goes well here, would you like to see, you know, more Child's Play movies?
Yeah. I mean, you know, if we do a good job and everybody wants another movie, we'd love to make another movie. But right now, we just got to do a good job on this one.
So they're pretty much saying that if this film does great, that we could possibly see a sequel in the future, which would be amazing if this film is actually good and it does well. So, you know, if it does good, then we could possibly see a sequel to this film in the future, which could be good for Chucky in general, but they'll have to do good first on their part. So, very interesting. We could see a possible sequel in the future.
Focused. We're focused, Lars.
Yes. Solid focus.
What's the biggest reason why people should come and see Child's Play on June 21st?
I can't wait to hear that. Alright, Aubrey already.
Chucky will be back. So yeah, it's a big reason. A lot of reasons.
Seth?
Aubrey.
Oh, do people love Aubrey? People love Aubrey.
I'm gonna say Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah, bro?
Yep.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure to say Aubrey as well.
Gabriel Bateman, this kid, he's a star. He's my son. Okay?
Yeah.
He's perfect. He's going places.
Yep.
Tyler?
I mean, now that I'm allowed to say it, I would say Mark freaking Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. So, yeah, that's all that I put together for you guys. Like I said, I want to show the whole video that I got because it was like 35 minutes, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to sit through all that, so I edited all the parts that were important and relevant enough to make it to the video. And you know, whenever I'm asked about my opinions on this remake, I always say that I have mixed opinions because my opinion is constantly changing on this. You know, sometimes I am really excited for it, sometimes I hate it. It all depends on what is being said about it, or like the leaks. If I don't like something that has been leaked like that, for example, that one picture that MGM striked my channel for, it just all depends on like that and just overall information, and it's all really gonna depend more on the movie itself, whether it actually succeeds in what it's trying to do or if it just flops miserably. And at this point, I just want to see it succeed because, you know, I just want to see it do good at this point, especially with Mark Hamill on board. And, you know, I'm starting to think that those leaks, like those spoiler leaks, I was going to show them in a video, but I never did. But I'm starting to think that those were false because, you know, people make stuff up all the time. So those leaks could very well be false. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The person that sent me all this stuff asked to remain anonymous, but the person that sent me all this stuff is a very awesome person, and you know who you are. And I really appreciate you sending me all this stuff. But if you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Definitely subscribe to become a slasher. All social media links and my merch down in the description below. And don't forget to keep on slashing, guys.
I'm slaying these bitches, rolling with Tiffany. And after that, I'm breaking your bed in until it's rickety. Everybody's laughing and thinking that my abilities are limited. Diminutive size is hurting efficiency. But it isn't further from the truth. I hide in plain sight things I couldn't do if you and me were the same height.